Grand Rising, Flameborn. Stepping into a little hike this morning. It's a really interesting place. I used to go here with my daughters, and this trail is called Raven Rock. It's really interesting. It's got a lot of history to it. But yeah, I woke up this morning and I was supposed to do some work for my business, but Spirit was calling me. It just was not, not feeling the vibe, so I decided this is what I would do instead. I'd go meet with Spirit, see if Spirit has anything for me, for us, and tap into some memories of me and my girls having the freedom that we had to go on these journeys and get outside with nature and just enjoy some peace. So when I get to the other side and after I do some meditation, I might show you guys what's up with this place and tell you a little bit about its history. There's a lot of history here, so it's really cool. But it's beautiful. I don't know if you can hear it right now, but the cicadas are just, the bugs are trying to get in my mouth, but the cicadas are chirping today. They're so loud, and I think it's really nice. It's gonna be a nice meditation, man. So, oh yeah, and I am doing the fasting. I do have instead of coffee, it's a Bloom Sparkle energy drink. And the reason why I drink this on fasts is because it's really good for your gut health. It has probiotics in it, and most of you guys probably know what's up with gut health. Let me try to decide on what path I'm going to take here, but it's really good for your gut health. So it's a good time to get rid of those bad bacterias and replace them with some little happy trees, All right, guys, much love, and I'll see you on the other side. What's up? Chilling on the path. Wanted to stop here. I'm probably a little over half a mile in. Raven Rock is 1.2 miles long, and it's all uphill, which is cool. It's not bad at all, really. I mean, I used to ruck, 7 to 20 miles. That was my younger days, but I still feel young, man. I still have a lot of youth in me, which I'm very grateful for. And that is alchemy. That is transmutation. A lot of times when we carry our past traumas, those negative energies, and we hold them inside of us, not only do they continuously re-manifest in our life for us to learn to manipulate that energy into something more positive, but they begin to drag on our bodies, and they begin to weigh down on our mindset, on our physical body. And in a physical sense, the way that's happening is by producing chemicals within the body that are unhealthy for you. So I could go for hours about that, and but that is alchemy. That is alchemy. So some days I look old, some days I feel older. But that's why I do things like this. That's why I take days to, alchemize and rise and spend time with Spirit. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the silence. Can you hear that? Those locusts. That is a very awesome opportunity for meditation. If you can meditate with the locusts. Very nice. So, something else that's really interesting about Raven Rock, and I'm going to do a little bit of research on this myself, but you see these stones. I'll put some pictures on SpiritForge of all of the stones that I've taken photos of and passed by. They're really interesting because a lot of them have some really, more man-made looking angles in them, and the layout of how they have fallen down the hill is just really interesting. So it's either, some kind of geological phenomena, or they, might be remnants of some kind of ancient civilization. Or we know that the natives held this land here as a very important strategic land when the colonialists were I guess you could say, invading. So, and I'll explain that to you a little bit when we get to the top of the hill. If my battery survives, it's like somebody's siphoning my phone life. So, if you only knew my life, then you might understand why. But much love, guys. I'll see you at the top. Just listen to how beautiful that sounds. I think one really beautiful, interesting part of meditation with the realization of non-duality is, you are those locusts, and you are the trees, and you are the sacred spirit that dwells throughout the land. And all of these frequencies of beingness, they're alive. They have consciousness. So you are them. And they are you. And it's just interesting to kind of imagine what it's like to tap into that consciousness, to feel the beingness of it. And this is what shamans used to do. This is what meditation is really all about. And that is the alchemy of the great song, is experiencing these frequencies, these songs on their very own level, and then stepping out of this human experience. It's a beautiful thing. I think I see a snake or a snail. We're going to touch it just to see. Oh, that's a shell. That's beautiful. Whoa. Oh, it's alive. I better leave him alone. But it's beautiful. Look at that. Spiral. Spiral is very sacred geometry because it is the pattern of manifestation. So it's beautiful. The mushrooms here are beautiful, and but just tapping into that realization of the oneness of all things, and that we humans have the capacity to transcend the body through consciousness and experience those other forms of beingness. That is the ultimate goal of meditation and alchemy. And when you step into these other forms of beingness, it has effects on your physiology. It has effects on your human body when you return back to it with these energies. You can heal the body. You can unlock realizations within the body and your genetics that you didn't have before, and it's a beautiful experience. But wow, the energy here is just so powerful today. Like I am so glad that I came here, and I don't really know what to say right now. I'm just really being overwhelmed with the energy of the forest, the energy of the spirit here. It's never been this intense. Hi. It'll be. But it's never been this intense when I come here. This is the first time it's been this intense. And I just want to, like, let it swallow me. Just want to melt into it and become it. Which I will do very soon. This is a really good spot, actually. But yeah, that is one of the most powerful forms of alchemical meditation. To transcend your consciousness, to become what it, a part of everything. And that's why it's so important to have perspective on linear time, and that we transcend linear time. The experience of passing through time is just that. It's just the experience of passing through time using the biological tools that you have, which is your human vessel. But like that little bee that visited me back there, he's using a totally different setup of physiology to experience the passing through this quantum energy that is you, that is me. And so therefore, its perspective on time, its perspective on the passing through of that energy is very different from a human being. And so the passing of time is very different. And we get lost in these human experiences, like 15 years in, 20 years in, 30 years in. It's just, we forget our consciousness, our soul forgets very, very quickly, who we are, especially in the time of the forgetting, and with indoctrination systems and education systems, because we are programmed to forget. We are programmable, and therefore we become our programs. We believe that, therefore we are that. And that's one of the most important lessons in alchemy, is that you must find perspective. Now, if you want to be a shaman, you want to be a magician, you want to be a sorcerer, you want to be a witch, any of these things, or if you want to, pray from a place of sovereign authority, then the first thing that you do is you find that perspective. You find that place to look through the eyes of the oneness of the self. If you want to have effect on the the external world outside of you, then you have to have the perspective, the realization that it is you, that it is consciousness, and then have the capacity to step outside of your vessel in a conscious form and become it. It's like, one of the best examples I can give you for this is like if you are a laborer or a contractor, or you work with a certain tool, or you're a soldier, you work with a certain weapon. You become the weapon. You become the tool. In essence, you become it. You feel it as if it is a part of you. And then you become extremely effective with it. I mean, this is how people, get so, become so incredible with their skills. You become one with, the part of you, the extension of you that you are utilizing. And to become even more powerful, you become the answer, you become the purpose, or you become the conclusion of which you are seeking to find. What you seek, you shall find, right? That's what it's all about. The becoming of that happens through alchemy. And it is a process for every person. Every person is different. Every illness has its own antidote. Every person has their own way of beingness. And somebody like me, what I'm designed to do is help people find their journey, their path to the becoming. It's been a part of my life, like, naturally. Even when I tried to deny it, even when I tried to become the becoming of whatever I need to be in out of survival, I always find my way back to that journey, to becoming the healer, becoming the guide, spiritual guide. Just end up there, you know, which is a curse and a blessing, people. It's a curse and a blessing. It's a blessing because it gives you perspective. It's a curse because it's a hard life. It's a very hard life. So, especially when you're not like earning an income from that effort that you're putting into it. And somebody like me, like I never wanted to earn an income from spiritual things. It just felt unnatural to me because, and that's why I'm building SpiritForge, is because I want to build the architecture. And that's not to say that I'm, you know, possibly not going to need some kind of funding or some kind of way to fuel that fire, but I built it with the intention of trying to avoid that at all costs. So my goal is to build the architecture, the blueprint for a new monetary system, the new Earth monetary system, which is built on a fundamentally, you know, on divine ethics, and it's less transactional and more built on the value within you and valuable actions. So when you take an action out of kindness, out of love, that builds value. It returns value into the system, and it's pretty intricate. And I'll show you. Little lizard. I will post a outline for this, and it's doable. It's definitely doable. So I love you guys. We're getting up to the top, man. We're getting close. I'm excited. Much love and peace. I'm gonna go down the hillside. Let's see how it goes. I got a drink in my hand, backpack on. Can you see those carvings? Some of these are very old carvings, very old. Oh boy, it's a little slick. This is where Raven Rock gets cool, because only the brave go down here. It's like a little secret area. And there's the cliff hang that people just walk out on all the time. You know, at some point in time and space, it's going to come off of there, man. My brother has hung off of that thing, which I didn't do that. I didn't have the nads at the time to do that, but my brother hung off of that. He was always the one doing crazy stuff like that. Look how cool. I mean, this just goes to show how high water was at one time. This was all underwater. This whole stinking massive valley. Which I guess that tells you where those stones came from. But the reason why I'm interested in some of the stones, not all of them, some of them interest me because they make me, they just don't look natural. They don't look like this. Like they just fell off of this. So, I mean, you got that going on. Then you have these stones, which are very, very cool. And you see some old carvings. And like I said, some of these are 200-year-old carvings. I mean, some of them go back to the 1700s. It's just beautiful. Let's see. the best way to get to that stone, which I may do my meditation up here, but the best way is to jump over there, which I've done many, many times. But I may do my meditation up here. Look at that trash up here, people. Oh, look at that. You see that cube? Symbolism. Howard Smith. Is that a 17? Okay, he just put a 96 there. So that's probably 1896, I would imagine. But this is a really cool carving. And you've got them all over the place here. I mean, these people, they just come up here a lot. And you know, what's cool about some of these people is they had some of the knowledge that I discuss on SpiritForge. This stuff has always existed. It's not like some kind of new thing. It's all ancient knowledge, and some had more knowledge than others. We're going to take that trash with us out of here when we go. Don't judge me, I'm going to toss it. Well, I'm afraid I'll lose it. But I'm going to toss it right there. I don't want it all nasty looking up here when I do my meditation. This is where I'm going to do it, though. This is a perfect spot. Perfect spot. Yep. Gonna tap in, guys. Tap in. Very cool. Much love. Talk to y'all soon. We made it to our location. I just want to say, you guys, that this space is a very sacred space. So I'm going to make some declarations. Right now, I am preparing some blue amber. If you've never used blue amber for incense and for burning for intention, it's very, very good for clarity and for cleansing a space. And this is a 10 million year old amber here, and I'm cutting it up and burning it because I use these items for purposes. And I'm not going to show all of my crystals for protection purposes, so that conscious intentions of ill will cannot pass this sacred space right now. But for now, I just what I will speak, if there is any entities, energies, or beings who are viewing this video or remote viewing this moment, then all of your conscious intention, your spell work, your curses, your hexes, they are rebuked, they are banished, they have no power here. I speak this in the sovereign authority, the sovereign flame within me, my divine eternal self, and my biofield is secure. So be it. And you see all these carvings here. I'll do a teaching on SpiritForge about these carvings. I will break down, I'll put photographs and I'll break down a list of them. There's no way I can go through all these, but we will do a list of them so you guys can just see what's up with them. I might tap into spirit and see if that's okay, because it might be, it's very sacred to those people, whether they were Freemasons or not. They are humans, and these go back hundreds of years, so I might keep them sacred. We'll see. Let's see what's up with it. But much love, guys. I'm gonna tap in, and I'm going to get into some conscious alchemy. Much love. Before I run out of battery and data or time on my phone, I I just want to discuss a little bit about what my whole purpose and point of this meditation is, and I want to, declare and make people that watch this realize that, this is a sacred space and it is protected by the divine. I wouldn't be speaking publicly if it weren't. This is a different time. The blossoming of consciousness is happening within all of humanity. The blossoming of ancient practices, of ancient teachings, and ancient ways of beingness are ordained. And they are coming about, not just through me, but through Flameborn all over the planet. My purpose in that is alchemy, is teaching ancient practices and things that I am tapping into through spirit. This is something that I need people to comprehend and realize. It does not come from an egotistical place. It comes from a place of pure love. And I don't want to say I had the capacity. I was forced to come into realization and of allowing these things to blossom within me through suffering and through the suffering of my own manifestations. I chose this path. I created this path, and from a higher perspective, from a higher state of beingness. So I take full responsibility for all of my challenges, all of the mountains I've had to climb to get to where I'm at. And for my family, and for people who don't quite comprehend what I'm doing and what I'm going through right now, you'll know soon enough. And again, this is not only happening through me or by Patrick, this is happening through many humans throughout the planet. I've met many of them, wonderful, beautiful souls who are also forged in the fire. And there are many who I have not met. But I want to give the people a little bit of vision of what SpiritForge is about. SpiritForge is about forging the path to the new earth and allowing that new earth to blossom. So, what do I mean by forging the path? Well, through the knowledge and the awareness of the consciousness grid, the etheric grid, and the impact, the co-creative powers of humanity on the physical realm, on physical earth, and the consciousness impact on the world that we see around us. So our co-creative capacity, through the knowledge and the awareness of that, and the practices and teachings that incorporate that knowledge and that divine authority, we are forging a path of the deconstruction, a graceful fall to grace. So the deconstruction of old ways, the deconstruction of old ways of education, old ways of economy, old ways of teaching our children, old ways of the ideas of surviving, right? We don't have to survive. There's plenty here for all of us. And in doing this, we have to have the realization of unconditional love for those powerful financial empires, for the beings that have monopolized spiritual power. They are us and we are them. And the only way to fall to grace and to successfully get there is not by picking up guns, not by picking up anger, not by hitting the streets with signs, and it's by love. It's by healing the land. You have that power right from your home. You don't have to go to the court systems and file things. You don't have to go vote. You don't have to do these things. Every moment you take a step out your door, click on your TV, that's a vote. Every moment that you go unconscious and allow the etheric false grid to remotely control your consciousness, you are voting for, you're feeding that entity, that energy, that manifestation, that old architecture. But hear me and know this now, that is inevitably falling. So if you want to jump on the bandwagon of the future, then you're going to become conscious of thyself and your own sovereign authority, your own sovereign power. A guy like me and many others like me who are developing these platforms of remembering, or women too, we are not doing it in the intention of individual prosperity. I'm going to make another video in a moment because I'm running out of time. But we are doing this with the intention of the prosperity of humanity and the plant life and the animal kingdom and Mother Earth and interdimensional beings that are watching over us, all together as one, for a new dream, for a new vision. Children, school systems where the children are being taught about their bioelectromagnetic field and its interaction with the etheric grid. School systems where children are being taught how to be valuable characteristics, or how to carry valuable characteristics to their brothers and sisters. And I'm going to go deeper in just a moment, because I'm running out of time. I got to delete some videos. I need a better setup. Love you guys. Okay, so real quick before I run out of battery now, deleted a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go back into talking a little bit more about the vision that is within people like me. So let's talk about how great God is, how great the Creator is, the Great Spirit. It lives and dwells within you. The kingdom of heaven is within, and it lives in these stones. It lives in the trees. It lives in the air that you breathe, right? The prana, the breath of life. It is one with all things, and it is you and it is me. So now that I'm done with meditation, I'm going to take a drink of mine. So that powerful, loving, all-permeating being is not going to make you suffer forever. It's not going to make humanity eternally dwell in the forgetting. It's just not. As hard as it is for those who are in suffering and in the darkness to believe, we are going to rise, man. And it's beautiful. It's awesome. Consciousness has been kind of going through phases of that rising for, hundreds of years, really. But a more recent thing we can look at is like in the 70s, 60s, 70s. But through financial empire control and things, drugs that were injected into society and thought forms and etheric rituals and things, they were controlling the consciousness of humanity. But, all of that was a part of the blossoming of consciousness. You see, the darkness, those who dwell in the darkest of darkest places, they actually know this. All right, we're talking the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, bloodlines that have ruled the planet for thousands of years. They do know this is inevitable. So what is inevitable? It's that consciousness is going to blossom and awaken. Not be woke, but awaken. Those ancient rituals that were manifested in order to create a bubble of reality of the forgetting they are diminishing naturally. And that bubble is bursting naturally. And so there were natural fail-safes that were integrated into consciousness. And we can discuss some of those fail-safes in the future when people have more comprehension of this. Because if I discuss some of them now, people might run away. But you need to understand that this is rooted in unconditional love. This is rooted in prophecy. It's ordained. I'm going to teach about the 144,000 and how they are not higher than any other being, but they are the white blood cells of the body of humanity. And I'll explain that. But more on the vision of what is coming. We're talking human life that lasts hundreds of years. Human life that has the capacity of healing the self, your physical body, through conscious intention, through energy work, and through plant life. we're talking about not needing monetary systems. Now, there will be a transition phase, which is what we are blossoming now. There will be a transition phase from current monetary systems and things that, blossoms into a economy that is based all on divine law. And I'm going to break down that too. And it's pretty wild. I've already developed it. It's pretty cool. So, and it's effective, efficient, and real. And then we're talking about, you see, like for me, for SpiritForge, it's going to blossom into, schools where eventually I probably in my old age will be teaching other master teachers, and I don't even really want to call it teachers, per se, but for the time being we'll call it teachers, right? More like guides, guides. Just like I see as a parent should be as a guide, not an authority figure, but a guide to the soul that is dwelling within the body that they manifested. This is why I don't believe in like physical punishment and things like that. So I go on tangents, bro. Just bear with me here, okay? The Spirit's flowing through me. I've been tapped into it. But so what are these schools going to be like? I mean, kids are going to be learning how to blossom their spiritual energy, their etheric self. They're going to learn about their Merkaba, their light bodies. They're going to learn about value systems and characteristics that are in harmony with the earth, with the animal kingdom, with plant life. I mean, the imagination is the limit, but the fundamental realization is that the frequency is rising. Everything around you is an electromagnetic frequency, a holographic projection. The earth, you, and everything around you is light and sound. It is those elements coagulated through the power of electromagnetism. I mean, we know this. This is not a secret. People hear these things and they think, that's crazy. Those are old programs that are dying programs. Some souls will choose to die and reincarnate in another time-space continuum. And if you want to get into death and reincarnation and all of that stuff, it's not linear. Your soul is going to experience a frequency, right? So your soul could go back in time. It can. Your soul can go forward in time. This is why we talk about like state of beingness is heaven and hell. If you remain in a certain state of beingness, then your soul remains in a frequency, a bandwidth of energy. And it may not even experience its next life on Earth realm, but it will be on the same bandwidth of three-dimensional frequency. Some souls are due to incarnate back into the third-dimensional realm. Some are due to incarnate to the fifth-dimensional realm. In this physical world, what you are experiencing is the transition of Mother Earth into the fifth-dimensional realm. The birthing of the new Earth. Study the Hopi prophecy. Study Dolores Cannon. And then study quantum physics, quantum mechanics, study CERN, right? So what is CERN? And what are these financial empires, these bloodlines trying to do? They want to perpetuate their immortality. They want to perpetuate their dream, which, God love them, they're just trying to stay, they're trying to stay in their dream, man. They're trying to stay in that, yeah. So what they're doing is they're creating a matrix. They're creating a bandwidth of their own energy, a frequency of their own energy that is a false matrix. And they're trying to, through propaganda, through suffering, and through all of these things on the 33rd parallel, they're trying to harvest a certain portion of souls into that frequency. And they're trying to get you to to join, to become, you know, part of their farm, man. They want you to be part of their farm. They want you to feed their dream. But they are us and we are them, and they'll have their dream. They will have it, to a degree. But it's your choice. Do you want to step through the doors of SpiritForge? I had to make this choice. I'm still making this choice every moment of every day. By fighting my own demons, by fighting my own negative energies, my own brainwashing, programming, and my own energetic influences that I experience on a daily basis. You wouldn't believe some of the things that I encounter. And I'm not the only one. A lot of these flame-born individuals, they are experiencing very similar or the same exact things. And I don't look at it as like, oh, poor me. I look at it as like, oh, hell yeah. That's a sign right there. That's some negative energy. I'm gonna transmute that and make it mine. I'm not like perfect. I mean, I have days where it's like, this sucks. I don't feel good today. I don't feel like where I want to be at. And that's, I have realization though, gratefully to the divine, that is, you know, a sign for me that I'm stepping in the wrong direction and I'm doing something wrong. And generally what that has to do with for me is like I'm feeding the wrong energies, like the wrong people. I'm surrounding myself with the wrong things. And part of that is Hoople's Home Upgrades. It has served its purpose in my life. I built Hoople's Home Upgrades for survival. It was built with the conscious intention of survival. But we are stepping out of a time of survival and into a time of prosperity, peace, and harmony with Mother Earth. And yes, it's been difficult for me because I'm allowing those ties to burn, and it can be perceived as like my business is kind of, I'm letting it go and letting it slip through my fingers. But I have to if I want to plant seeds in a new garden. I have to experience the hardships of that. I have to finish my commitments. I have to deal with, you know, all of the financial difficulty of letting it burn. And I have to do it gracefully, so it's not like I can just like run away from it. I'm still working, I'm still doing my thing, but I'm planting seeds elsewhere where I have been divinely called. And you are being divinely called in some way, shape, or form. And that's to anyone who's watching this. We all have a divine blueprint. We all have a purpose. And some of our purposes are to remain in three-dimensional realm. And that doesn't mean, if you're watching this, very likely it's not the case. You're either one of the beings who are given a choice, or you are rising. You're going to ascend to the fifth dimension. You're going to the new earth. If you're watching this, you're going to the new earth, most likely. Especially if you choose it. But there are people, you have free will as an eternal soul. As the eternal flame within you has free will to interdimensionally travel. That's what I'm talking about when I teach about the divine chariot. Your heart is like the spacecraft of your soul. The truth is great, man. It is great. The truth is freaking awesome. And it's beautiful, and it's loving. I mean, look around you. Look at the beauty of life. Look around you, man. Just look around you. We all endure suffering, but that suffering is not evidence that everything is shit. And sometimes we go through more than others, but that suffering is not evidence that you're going to eternally suffer. Pull yourself out of there. You have conscious free will. You have the power to alchemize and rise. And people like me, we are the doorways to that knowledge. But people like me don't have the intention to be like some, and to withhold some of that information like some of these guys. right? We're not here to withhold that information and then, monopolize it. I'm going to tell you whatever you want to know, bro. Like, I'm going to tell you whatever you want to know. Yes, I'm trying to juggle with funding and how to develop that and in the transitional phase, but I'll get there. I'll figure it out. I mean, certainly if you want to donate to SpiritForge, we will, I would be divinely grateful and reciprocate that with whatever knowledge is in alignment with your highest self. That being said, I have faith that, it's going to blossom in a natural way. And look around you in the old world. The flame is shining a light. The consciousness of all is shining a light on all those dark corners of the old world for a purpose, so that we can alchemize truth with the darkness and rise. My phone's going to die, so we'll go deeper into this soon. But keep that vision in your mind, body, and spirit complex. Alchemize it with knowing, with authentic knowing. Reclaim your soul. Deprogram these old world programs. And remember your eternal self. It is that good. Life is that good. This is a frequency. We're changing the channel. It's that simple. Changing the channel. Alchemize and rise. Much love, my people.